Namaste, angels. This is a bi-weekly reading for the sign of Leo. Goes through the 31st of August. We're going to get started right away, beginning with an overall energy of the devil in reverse. So this is a card that says that something that may be troubling you, that may appear to be a dire situation or something of which you should be concerned or even afraid, maybe fearful, is not necessarily what it seems. Don't be afraid to take a deeper look, a closer look. Sometimes taking that closer look, you'll find something in your favor. Like it can be, for example, let's say your bank statement. You know, you might get it or the bill, right? You get it and it's like, oh my God, like that's scary. Where am I going to get the money from to pay all this? But if you look at it closer, you realize that they made a mistake and that you can have something reversed and then it'll go. The bill will become affordable to you and what you expected, you know? So don't take anything necessarily at face value over the next couple weeks. And I think you have you have Major Arcana card, the Hierophant upright also right behind that. And that reveals that you all have the Lovers right behind that. I think some of you want to divorce yourself from something or someone, not necessarily actual marriage in terms of getting a divorce, but there's something from which you want to separate. The Hierophant is about tradition. And maybe you want to break with tradition. You might want to change your spirituality or religion or lose your spirituality or religiosity. There could be something involving like a true love, a soulmate love. Maybe with a Gemini being particularly significant, the Lovers represents the sign of Gemini, or Taurus being particularly significant, or Cuspian, right? These can be Cuspians, Taurus and Gemini. Also, you may want to leave one relationship for another in terms of romantic relationship as well. I mean, I guess that could be something else too. It could be work or something. You may want to leave one job for another. And whatever the other thing is, it's where your heart is. When the Lovers comes up and it's in terms of a decision, it's like usually like a heart versus head decision. Your heart, your soul, your intuition, maybe they're guiding you to do one thing and your head is telling you like, nah, man, you can't do that. Like, you know, that would ruin everything, or people would go crazy if you did that or whatever, but you would be happy. But what would others say? What would others think? What would others feel? And so it seems like there may be a fear here. Always, if you ask me, always go with your heart, soul, intuition in making your decisions and in making yourself happy. Other people, if they genuinely care about you, love you, they'll get over it, and they'll become happy too at the sight of your being happy. Definitely pay close attention to details, though, with this devil in reverse. Just details and everything around you and stuff that people are telling you, maybe in contracts. The Hierophant can be about contracts. Partnerships of all kinds. You guys have, from my other deck that I shuffled for you in advance, the Two of Wands is a beginning or overall energy. Two of Wands is a soulmate card in the tarot. It's a representative of divine unions, twin flame relationships also. But it's also about partnership in general. And that could be business partnerships, familial partnerships. But behind it, also upright, is the Five of Wands, which can be about conflict, jealousy even. And for me, more so close friends and or family when it's the Five of Wands, as opposed to, say, the Five of Swords. Also upright behind that, the Seven of Wands is if you have a decision to make, and once you make it, it's saying to stick to your ground, stand your ground. So just what I was telling you before, it seems like you want to do something, maybe with regard to a partnership. Maybe it's getting a divorce and, what would the family say or whatever. Maybe you're not married, but maybe it's breaking up with one person to be with somebody else. And again, what would the family say? Maybe it's changing your career or your job or something. And, even that may bring you into question with others, but again, if they really care about you, they'll get over it. All of these cards say this is, again, something either that you're trying to manifest and you need to have faith, and there's conflict, or there's other people, like throwing salt in your game and negative energy in the works, and you still got to stand your ground and remain focused, and you keep your eye on the prize on what you're trying to do. Or there's a decision that has to be made, very possibly about some kind of partnership, very possibly about a romantic partnership, maybe even like soulmate love, and close friends and or family, jealousy at the workplace, the office, and again, some sort of decision needing to be made. And when you make it, you should not change your mind unless you want to change your mind. Also, up right behind these is Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor, which represents the planet Mars and the signs of Aries and Scorpio. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership. Also, this card for me can be about government agencies, large corporations, father figures, authority, like masculine, like role models, mentors, married man, divorcee, man with children. So all of these are possible. Your boss at work. There's concern about lack. So that may be it. Like if I make this move, if I change careers, I change jobs, will we be able to keep our head above water? If I go into another relationship, I'm a married man, I'm a man with children. If I go and have another relationship, am I going to be able to afford my new family, my old family? Like all those kinds of things going through one's head. But again, I say, and you don't have to take my advice, but I say, when you follow your intuition, your heart, your soul, the guidance that you're receiving from the universe, from God, and whatever it is you believe, then a way is made for you to accomplish those goals. That's my belief. All right, so I want to shuffle these cards again. We got our initial messages. I want to give you some more. So again, a Scorpio may be particularly significant. We just saw the Emperor, which represents Mars, which in part rules the sign of Scorpio. And now I've opened to Major Arcana card 13, or Death, which also represents the sign of Scorpio, and something coming to an end. Some situation or circumstance, relationship, living condition, job, something is never going to exist in the same way again as it has. If you allow it to change, right? It's trying to change. It could be you. You could be who's never going to exist in the same way again. Like the old me is dead and gone, and I've become this new version. Opening to Major Arcana card 3, the Empress, but also I'm sure you saw that it was trying to open to the Ace of Cups. So this is an emotionally fulfilling situation. It could be reconciling with somebody. It could be a job or a relationship or something that your emotions are going to be tied in it. It'll be emotionally fulfilling, emotionally pleasing to you. The job of your dreams, right? Something that's going to make you happy. Definitely could be about work, abundance. Definitely could be about starting a family, definitely could be about your existing family, the mother of your children, your own mother. Different things for everybody, of course. And again, may involve a Gemini, also Libra or Taurus. So this is the second time Taurus is coming up, because the Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus, and so does the Empress, because it represents Venus, and she's the ruler of the sign of Taurus. But also Gemini, Venus is the esoteric ruler of the sign of Gemini. So we've seen now the Lovers and the Empress. Death. And the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Ten of Pentacles is about security. So if it's in reverse, it could be concerned about your security and welfare, happiness. Temperance in reverse. Temperance represents the sign of Sagittarius, and for me, Aquarius as well, because I view this as a water bearer. There's, again, some sort of decision that has to be made. You got a lot of choices. You got something to figure out, and it definitely requires your attention. But temperance is about restoration and recovery for me. Negotiation, collaboration. So fixing things for the best for everybody. Figuring out a way where it appears there's no way. And that can also be, again, what that devil is about, right? It might look like there's no way to resolve a situation, no way to bring two people together, no way to fix some sort of conflict that had been had among family members or whatever. But if you look deeper, then you can figure out there is a way to resolve things. So we've come now to the Six of Cups in reverse. This is going to be your new overall energy. And I'm going to pull 4 additional cards for you guys. One representing, this is going to be the one that most represents your energy over the next 2 weeks. And it is the Knight of Wands in reverse. Surrounding energy, so could be some of yours or close friends, family, co-workers, down to the job, all that kind of stuff. 10 of Swords, upright, betrayal, hurt, discord. Work and finance, 5 of Cups, disappointment, pessimism, doubt, failure to count one's blessings. When something is okay, but you're not seeing it. You're focused on what's not okay. And love and relationship. The 6 of Wands. Very nice. Card of victory and success. And you got 2 6s. The number 6 also very much representative of love, equity, equality, partnership. Let's start with your new overall energy of the 6 of Cups in reverse. So in a general sense, it reminds us to stay focused and present. Again, keeping your eye on the prize, what you're trying to manifest, what you're trying to do in this moment right now, as opposed to in the past, not crying over spilled milk, what didn't happen, who you didn't end up with, what job you didn't get, or whatever, but really where you can go now, what your future holds. Really, really important not to slip into like negative self-talk and thoughts like, you know, the best part of my life is behind me. I miss my good years and, you know, I have nothing to look forward to. Like avoid that kind of thinking and speak. Again, the number 2 that showed up for you in the beginning and on the other deck, the 2 of Wands. 2s are about faith. So in terms of manifestation and focusing on an intention, you need to have that belief and that positive thought and that positive speak about yourself that you can and will accomplish your goals, that you can and will draw using energy, positive things that fulfill your desires toward yourself. Definitely just avoid getting like lost in the good old days. You know what I mean? Although it's okay to reminisce and to be, you know, a little bit nostalgic every now and then too. And especially with what's going on around the country, around the globe, you know, to think about family members and times that were shared that you have good memories about. All that's fine. Just don't get stuck there. Now, for most of you, I think that in general, your cards are going to be about there's something going on at work for a good bit of you, I'm going to say. And about that, the 6 of Cups in reverse says like the honeymoon phase at your job may be over. And I think that in thinking about or considering the cards that we looked at before, like I said, this is not the job you love. Like the job you love is a possibility for you. We saw that Ace of Cups. But I think where you are now, something's going on there. And there may be something with a particular person. I don't know if it's like sexual harassment or maybe something racial. We see all this stuff going on. Maybe somebody who believes in wearing masks versus someone that doesn't believe in wearing masks. We see that kind of stuff going on in places of business as well these days. But I see something very funky happening at work for some of you. And for others, it may not be that bad. It may on the surface appear bad. Think about the devil in reverse. But when you look into it, it's like, okay, this is not something I'm willing to go out on a limb for. This is not something I want to give my energy to. I'll just drop it. So think hard, long, before deciding that you need to take some sort of action due to like a perceived wrong in the workplace. Make sure it's like an actual wrong and that you feel it's worth fighting. Because yeah, many battles are worth fighting, but not all of them are, right? So trust yourself to know the difference and then stand your ground. Remember the 7 of Wands also. But we saw that there was probably going to be some sort of conflict at work. In terms of love, the 6 of Cups in reverse says that you're probably going to be dealing with something soon that you've been avoiding for a long time, sweeping under the rug. If you're in a committed relationship, maybe you guys didn't want to ruffle each other's feathers, so you tried to avoid stuff. It's going to come to the surface. So that too, I think, is connected to that devil in reverse energy. And it's about what's on the surface, what's superficial seeming, and what is actually just superficial and what we need to go deeper on. If you're single and you're looking for a relationship, I think the time has come for you to sort of look at yourself and not in a judgmental way, but just in an honest way in terms of taking action and ownership over your own life. And what am I doing maybe or not doing to bring love into my life? If love is what you want. It tends not to just fall out of the sky. I'm sure that's possible. Anything's possible, as they say, but it's not likely. So you're probably going to have to put some sort of action out there. Finances, you may need to pay attention to money. I don't think it's necessary to be paranoid, but this too can be, again, connected to the devil. And like I said, there could be mistakes that may be perhaps in your favor. If they're not in your favor directly, at least in your favor indirectly, in that your attention will be brought to something. When you look deeper, you'll understand what's really going on. What's the state of, your finances, your debts, your income, and all that kind of stuff. And you'll be able to figure out what it is you need to do in that regard. So let's move on to the Knight of Wands here in reverse. Of course, this is your energy as well as that of Aries and Sagittarius. Maybe some of you are actually dealing with another fire sign. Maybe some of you have more than one fire sign in your chart, pretty heavily. Like I'm like double air. I got a friend that's double water, double Pisces, as a matter of fact. So maybe something like that. Knights are about action. Wands are about action and movement. The element of fire is about action and movement. And so when it's in reverse, there probably won't be much, and you're going to need to be patient. It can be about messages that you're expecting or that would have otherwise come to you, but they're delayed. And that really can be something like super literal. Like your mail is held up, because all of our mail is held up right now. And if you live in the United States, what's been going on with the post office and stuff like that. So it could be like some sort of message that was on its way to you is delayed, whether you were expecting it and you're aware of it or not. But it's not necessarily bad news. So just try to be patient. Like just because it's in reverse doesn't mean it's not what you want to hear, although it sits here next to the 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords with regard to a yes or no question, like, can I trust them? Is this legit or whatever? The answer is no. So, for some of you, it's possible if you're waiting for, some sort of yes or no decision, that when that it's delayed and or when it arrives, it'll be no. Otherwise, again, this isn't necessarily bad news. It's just held up for some reason. I got, it's funny because I talked about a text that might be blocked or something in one of my readings that I did for the collective over the weekend. I just uploaded a whole bunch today, like the moon reading, my love reading, my general. Anyway, I talked about in one of them not getting a text and because you have the person blocked, and then one day randomly going through your block list and discovering it there. So it's like delayed for that reason. It may have been one of the other astrological sign readings that I did. So watch your sun, moon, and rising, actually, because, I mean, I want you to do that anyway, but it actually may be one of the other signs for whom I've read already that I said this to, not a collective reading. In any case, I said, you discover it late, so it's a delayed message. Sure enough, today, now I've had Androids all my life, from the very first droid, that Motorola one droid, and I always got the next one, the next one, the next one. And I only now do I have an iPhone after having a droid like my entire cell phone life, which is a pretty long time. And I have my message notification says that I have a text. I looked in unknown senders. I looked in, of course, known senders. That's the default. Nothing. So I said, oh, well, maybe it's somebody that I have blocked. I don't really have anybody that I know personally blocked. I have like annoying spam calls and stuff blocked, but let me see if I have a blocked message. So I go into settings and stuff, and I learned for the first time that iPhone doesn't have that. Like Android allows you to receive messages from people that you have blocked. It just doesn't give them to you. You have to physically go and look for them. And in the iPhone, it says you will not receive messages from people that you have blocked. So I've checked everywhere that I think I can check, and I don't know from whom this message is. I say that all that to say that something similar can happen to one of you guys. I actually am a Leo rising myself, so that's how it applies to me. In terms of work, there may be some sort of break, interruption, like you may get pulled off of a training, or could be even more temporary and fast than that, pulled out of a meeting or something that, you were planning on learning a new skill. You're going to sit by this person's desk and, oh no, we need you over here and we got to stick you over there. So there's a break in that. There's an interruption in that. I suppose for some, it could be something even greater. I hope not, but it could be like furlough, perhaps. Maybe the company the whole company itself, it's not something that you're doing wrong, but there's some sort of break in the energy with this. So maybe the whole company itself needs to shut down for a few days, or something like that, for somebody. Still try to keep your thoughts as positive as possible, your attitude and everything, disposition as positive as possible. If you're somebody who's looking for a job, again, the decision may be delayed, the hiring decision. Try not to worry about it. Try to, again, keep your thoughts positive, and don't worry about what I said here, that it's necessarily a no. All right, because it does not have to be. This is really if you have a yes or no question about something or somebody. As a matter of fact, let's talk about this card a little bit more right now. So this placement. So the 10 of Swords here is in this placement of your reading that is surrounding energy. So could be involving close friends, family. Yes, your coworkers, your workplace, perhaps. Things that are surrounding you, not so much necessarily you, although sometimes you, because, can involve your romantic partner, people that are close to you. Sometimes by default, it involves you as well. So again, in the general sense, if there's some sort of question as to can I believe what this person's telling me? Can I trust that this situation is secure and stable? The answer is probably no. But at the same time, it's one of those when one door closes, another one opens kind of energy. So don't be too worried about it. Somebody close to you may be experiencing a situation of betrayal, hurt. Somebody close to you may need to, you may need to allow them to fall away. And again, for some, it could have something to do with the job. Something's going on with the job. And you may need to allow this person or this situation to just fall away organically and naturally from you. Like when the universe tries to remove things from our life and remove people from our life, let it. Of course, in terms of love, it's not a very positive energy. It definitely, is an indication that something's not right, to say the least. Don't be one of those people that's afraid to hear or see and acknowledge the truth. That's what I'll say about that card. So moving on to work and finance. Speaking of work and finance, my hand is itching. That's an old wives' tale. That's a superstition that like I'm gonna get some money into it. So the Five of Cups. Again, things with like applications and resumes and things like that can be held up is another meaning of this. So those of you who are trying to find work, just I gotta say, like, again, try not to let it get you down like this guy, that you haven't heard anything back, and don't take it personally as if it's about you, because it's not. It's about delays. All right. In terms of your finances specifically, again, worrying about stuff when you're a manifester, or when you're in a period of manifestation, can actually have the effect of repelling, right, what your desires, or drawing negative energy towards yourself rather than positive. So again, this is an energy that's more like in your head or in your feelings. You are not necessarily counting all the good things in your life and focusing on the positive things. Instead, you're maybe more focused on the negative things. Like, even if you are that person that's looking for a job that doesn't have a job, maybe there's some sort of other income that you're not necessarily that you are receiving, and rather than be focused on that, well, thank God for that. We're focused on the fact that I have not heard back from these companies yet. So try to change your perspective in that regard, and again, keep yourself upbeat and positive. More like this. Now, in terms of that, and your relationships, your loving relationships, if you're in a committed one, and it's been a little bit funky, maybe because you had been sweeping things under the rug, looking back to our overall energy, and you're finally addressing stuff, that could really be the breakthrough that you guys need. Whether that's what sparks it or not, the Six of Wands upright says that things are looking up in the relationship, right? Things are doing good. Suddenly, you just find yourself happier, closer to your partner, the commitment deepening, the feelings deepening. If you're single, then this card showing up says that you're probably about to enter a relationship with someone that you've really been dreaming about. If it's not the actual person, or if it's not an actual person, with a name and stuff like that, image, like, this is what I want in a mate. You're meeting that person very soon. It's a super positive omen. So let's see what other cards we have for you from the other deck, at least in terms of advice. I think I otherwise went time-wise as long as I should on this. So I'm just want to look for, I have two decks here, two tarot decks, and I just want to look for cards from the other deck for you. There we go. So from the Angel Tarot, your card is the Six of Air. This is another card that means things are looking up. In fact, it even says so here. I just use this phrase with in your regard about this card. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. So again, this can be about travel, although the Knight of Wands in reverse says travel could be delayed. And to those of you who identify as the feminine archetype among you, Major Arcana card 20, renewal or judgment, review and evaluate, a favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Judgment represents the planet Pluto in the sign of Scorpio, which it rules. It is a card about second chances, second time around. So opportunities coming back around to you in, it's possible in any area of your life. It could be in work. It could be in a relationship. Could be in trying to resolve, a difference with somebody. Judgment for me is also about abundance that is earned. So things coming your way because you're deserving, you're worthy. In terms of specifically with regard to relationships, of any and all kinds, friendships, familiar relationships, romantic relationships. It can be about a crossroad, coming to a crossroad and deciding, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere. For some of us, we'll decide it's the end of the road. Again, allow people to fall off if they need to. And for some, we're gonna go all the way. Very positive card. Judgment is actually one of my favorite cards. And for the masculine among you, the Three of Wands. So this is more of your energy. It's more of a very positive energy of abundance, of your work paying off, but your need for patience, just like this Knight of Wands here. Stop to take time to review and to make long-term plans, capitalizing upon your past successes. Like I was talking about, planning for the future, looking forward, looking in the future, not in the past, right? It's appropriate to pat yourself on the back for all of your accomplishments, but you also may need some patience in order for the next phase to play out. And so again, you probably are going to need some patience, Leo. Sorry about that. And lastly, for the feminine among you, a fresh start. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. The Ace of Swords is about truth, justice, equity, getting to the bottom of a situation, seeing something for exactly what it is, the real deal. And it can be about, yes, a new start. I mean, it's Ace, it's a new start, but on the, like, after difficulty. Okay. And again, remember with the Six of Swords, it's saying it's the end of a difficult time for us. So that's behind us. The best is yet to come. With this Ace of Swords, we have something to look forward to. Hope you guys have enjoyed your reading. I'll be back for you. Do check out your sun, moon, and rising. And if you don't mind, give the video a thumbs up, comment, share, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. Check to make sure you're still subscribed. If you do think you're a subscriber, hit both the subscribe button and the bell button. I appreciate it. Namaste.